Hello, Kukpi7 community. Welcome to meeting consultant Kukpi7 Draney. Hello, everybody here. Welcome, my family. I want to start off by saying that we've been really busy at Kukpi7 office. Our team has been working on many different negotiations. A lot of things have been happening, and I thought it was about time that I came and did a bit of a community report. And one of the negotiations that's near and dear to my heart is getting us back on Hahume Lake and our specific claims negotiations. So I wanted to share an important update with you about that ongoing specific claims negotiations related to Hahume Lake IR number 6. For many years, we've been trying to correct a mistake made by Canada government that omitted Kukpi7 from being named beneficiary of the land now known as IR number 6. In May of 2022, we formally entered into the negotiation process to have this error fixed. And while the discussions are far from over, we received an update on these discussions from our legal team in early June. At the forefront of our negotiations with Canada are a couple of topics. We have agreed that we will work together and explore options to have Kukpi7 added to IR number 6, as well as trying to put a value on all we've lost by not having access to the location that was so important to our community, where we fished and hunted, gathered, and camped for generations before the government made its mistake and ended our access to the lake. The first part of this discussion is straightforward, but that doesn't mean it will be easy to accomplish. Canada agreed that they made a mistake when they failed to make Kukpi7 as a beneficiary of IR number 6, but told us that currently the process doesn't allow them to simply add our name to the list. Our legal team's update tells us that Federal Negotiations Manager is looking at ways to work around this, which may include ministerial orders and band council resolutions. During a meeting in Ottawa with the Director General of the Specific Claims Branch, it was confirmed that Canada is committed to fixing this oversight. While this is good news and we now have a path forward, our legal team advises us that we need more information from Canada before we can take any next steps to have Kukpi7 added to IR number 6. The second part of our negotiations focuses on the loss our community has felt by being excluded from Hahume Lake IR number 6 for more than a century. And this part is more complicated. As you all know, our connection to the land is something that cannot be measured. We are the land and the land is us. We are all connected, and there is no value or amount of money that we can place on that connection. The land is a place where we find our food, medicines, and building materials. It is where we celebrate, where we practice culture and spiritual traditions, and where we heal. And while it seems impossible to place a dollar amount on what we have lost at Hahume, this is the first step we must take to identify these losses. To support our negotiations team in their discussion, it is proposed that we hire an expert that will complete a loss of use study. This determines the value of the land from a real estate perspective and will tell us how much income this location could have provided since 1906. However, it's not just the land itself that was taken, and many other resources need to be evaluated and considered before we can really appreciate what we've lost. More surveys will need to be done to find the value of the timber, fishing, and numerous other resources we would be able to enjoy by accessing Hahume. We need to make the Canadian government recognize that while they might determine the value of a piece of land by what they can build on it, people can find great value and worth in so many other things that even the quiet enjoyment we feel watching a beautiful sunset over the lake is valuable to us. While Skeetston has been offered some money to make up for what we've lost, we believe that these surveys and studies might show Canada what people have really been missing for over a century. In the coming months, we will continue to work with the negotiations team and legal counsel to move these discussions forward. We'll develop the terms of reference that will guide our loss of use study and find ways to evaluate the loss of timber, fishing, and the traditional, cultural, and spiritual values that are found within IR number 6. We hope that we will continue to make positive progress on this and that we'll be able to make another update very soon with even better news that we have righted this 100-year-old mistake and Skeetston can once again enjoy Hakyum as our ancestors did in the past. So, in conclusion, I'd just like to mention that if you would have any kind of questions that you might need answered on our specific claim regarding Kukpi Lake, please drop in and see me, and I'd be happy to either introduce you to our negotiating team and be able to answer any of the questions that you may have. Thanks again for hearing our story.